Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day. So today's video is highly requested ever since I decided to get my own apartment and basically be an independent person. So the main question everyone has asked me is, Kira, how do you find a cheap apartment? So if you guys do not know, my apartment, I do live outside of Boston, and my apartment is $675 a month, which is fairly cheap considering the market is outrageous nowadays. But I will tell you guys on a couple tips and tricks on how I was able to find such a cheap apartment in a very decent neighborhood. I really hope these tips and tricks help you guys out while apartment searching, even house searching. I do not know anything much about house prices, but I know that these little tips and tricks can definitely help you in either or each aspect of that certain search topic. So if you guys do find this video helpful, make sure to throw a thumbs up down below, and do not forget to subscribe if you are new here, and let's get straight on into the video. Okay, so this is me not jumbling around. I've written down everything step by step, so hopefully I am not all out of place in this video. I hope these do help you out as much as they did for me. So the first thing that I do want to discuss is to check your budget. Check your budget, go through all your bills that you have, whether if you're living at home, go through your phone bill, write down all your bills that you have, because this is going to determine how much you can pay for rent. So if perhaps you paid all your regular main bills and you're looking for an apartment, and you realize that you have about $800 to $900 left over with paying your bills, then you want to look for an apartment that's at least $825, because you do want to have that extra cash for food, for gas for your car, and little essentials around the house. So you definitely want to go through your budget. This is going to determine on how much you can spend or how to even look for a cheap apartment. Because if you do not go through your budget at all, then you have no idea on what you're trying to spend. Are you trying to spend $1,200 a month on an apartment, or you're trying to spend at least $700 a month on an apartment? So definitely, number one tip, write all your bills down and calculate how much money you have left over at the end of the month. The next thing is to look more into the area that you're looking for to live in. Now, this is to know that neighborhood, do information on that neighborhood, because it's sad to say that crime areas it's more expensive when it comes to insurance. So I do not live in the city area, where I live in a little town. I'm not going to say exactly where I live because of privacy reasons, but I live in a little town outside of Boston, and my car insurance, when I lived with my mom, because she lives in the city more, my car insurance was $80 with basic coverage. My car insurance right now, with me moving to this little town and nothing ever really happens here, my car insurance dropped down to $52 a month. So it went from $80 a month to $52 a month, because I live in a low crime, low traffic area. So definitely try to get to know the neighborhood that you're looking into, because that's going to benefit you if you are looking for a small town. It's going to benefit you with insurance. It's going to benefit you with other properties in order to save money. And with that being said, it is cheaper to live in towns than the city. Now, living in the city can cost you from $1,200 to $1,400, and if you're able to take an Uber, or in Boston we have the T, which is a train operation thing where you just pay a monthly fee and you get back and forth. A lot of people do that, but it is 10 times cheaper when it comes to rent. So definitely consider on moving to a small town area. Obviously, I'm not telling you guys to move into the woods or things like that, but keep in mind that living in a city is going to cost you more on rent, because everybody wants to be over there. Everybody wants things close to them, and you might be paying less money when it comes to taking an Uber to work if you live about 20 minutes to 15 minutes away from the city, but you're paying 10 times cheaper rent. You want to weigh out your options that way. I know I wanted to move to the city so bad, because I felt that it would be a better experience for me, and that I would be able to get out more. But little did I know that going towards the city is a lot cheaper than me actually having an apartment there. So, you know, definitely look into that as well. The next little tip I can tell you guys is to stay far away from fancy apartments. Fancy apartments, I'm talking about the apartments that have a pool in the lobby, that have a lobby period, that have elevators, that have all those things, those little nice fancy things that you're seeing, you're paying for. It might not show in your rent, where it might not show pool area, $58. No, but they're gonna jack up the price of the apartment only because the place is considered a high standard luxury living establishment. So you definitely want to take in consideration to maybe go towards more of the simple route. I know studio apartments are there. I know they're not the most convenient for everybody. I got really lucky with this apartment being pretty wide and having a separate bedroom and stuff. But studio apartments are definitely the way to go if you do want to stay in the city, because you know you might pay a good $900 for a studio versus the $1,300 to $1,700 for those fancy apartments that have a pool and all those kind of things that you necessarily do not need as of right now in life. The next tip I have for you guys is to try to talk to your local apartment locators or a retailer place where it is for you know, real estate and stuff like that, because they know the area. And if you just sit down and talk to one of them, I highly doubt they're going to charge you if you just maybe ask 5 minutes or 10 minutes of their time to maybe they can map out what areas are cheap when it comes to apartments and stuff like that. They can definitely point you towards the right direction when it comes to finding a decent budget, a decent area, and all around everything what you're looking for, so you're not wasting time running around the city trying to find an apartment. Definitely word of mouth is the way to go, or trying to ask for help is the way to go when it comes to looking for an apartment. The next tip I have for you guys, I know this is super crucial and a lot of people don't really like this, but try to look for an apartment that is second, third, fourth, fifth floor, because landlords charge those apartments less because everybody wants first floor. First floor is so convenient and everybody just likes to be in and out of their apartment. But when it comes to second, third, fourth, it is kind of hard to bring your bed, your couch, all your belongings upstairs. So they do charge less. I know in this apartment, I think downstairs pays a good $800 and I pay $675, even though I live on the second floor and it's not that bad. It definitely was a hassle to get in some of my stuff through the door, but it's manageable. You can definitely get through it. It's a good exercise. So just put it that way, and you'll definitely save money on rent when going higher up on the building side. The next thing that I can tell you guys, and this is exactly what I did, is to look online and be alert offline. Every time that I would go on break at work, I was looking online, and I was looking at Craigslist, I was looking at other things, other sites around the area, towards Boston. I was looking everywhere, and I also had notifications, so in case something popped up near me and around my price range, I would get a notification the minute I got out of work. So definitely take advantage of what we have, which is online, because majority of all landlords post everything online. It's very rare that you will just see someone selling an apartment without having pictures or having a description online. So take advantage of that, and also definitely be aware of it while you're offline. Set up notifications, set up timers. If you're really looking towards getting a really good cheap deal, definitely have your phone by your side with that, because you do not want to miss an opportunity. I remember when I found this apartment, it was a rainy day. I remember it like it was yesterday, and they had 58 minutes of it being posted on Craigslist, and I seen the pictures and I automatically emailed them right away, and the rest is history. So definitely keep online in your mind. The next tip I have for you guys is to search at the best time. Now, in your mind and everybody else's mind probably thinks that spring and summer are the best ways to search, or days or seasons to search when it comes to an apartment, because it's so beautiful out and it's sunny and the weather is amazing. That's wrong. you want to look for an apartment or a car when it's just crappy weather. I know it sounds so wrong, but dealers with cars and also with landlords, they kind of tend to put their apartments lower in the winter and the fall because nobody wants to go look at them because it's cold, for one. For two, everyone's too busy at holiday parties or doing their own thing around the winter season. So my best bet for you guys is to look for your apartment during the fall and winter. Most likely people are moving out. Always around the spring and summer, people are moving in and trying to purchase apartments or houses. So keep that in mind. I was really lucky again. Like I said, I found this apartment in the spring, but it was also a really rainy, gloomy day when it was springtime. You know, it gets really flooded over here, and no one wanted to come look at this apartment except for me. So this rule applies to everything. You definitely, you want to think the opposite way when it comes to what everybody else is thinking. Look for apartments when it's crappy weather. I'm pretty sure, 100% sure, that you will find a really great deal. The next little advice I have for you guys is to check your credit rating. Nowadays, it is sad, but most and majority of all apartments and landlords do go by your credit score. I know my landlord went by my credit score and also my background history. So my credit score was in really great standing, so I definitely got this apartment better than other people did. But I also did make a folder of I laminated a couple things. I presented myself really well when I got this apartment. But the credit score is a big deal, especially when it comes to living in the US. We kind of are judged by our credit score when it comes to purchasing big items or wanting to do anything when it comes to improving ourselves. Everybody or every business wants to look at your credit score. I know it's kind of hard to say. If you do not have a credit score, try your best to maybe build it up. I know a lot of people are against this. Everybody's different, you guys. I built my credit score up from nothing to almost at like a perfect credit score. And, you know, it was really bad back then to build it up because I didn't really have the mentality to think like, oh, it's just a score, I don't need it. At the end of the day, I did need it to get this apartment. So say if my credit score was completely trash and the person behind me that wanted this apartment had an amazing credit score, I'm pretty sure that she would have got this apartment more than me. So because having a poor credit score makes it look like you don't pay your bills, having an awesome credit score makes it look like you pay your bills. It kind of shows that you pay your bills. So definitely look into your credit score because that is super important. And last but not least, my biggest tip for you guys is to be patient. I waited 10 months, 10 whole months to find this place. If you can, be patient as much as possible. If you do not have time, then go hard and hustle and look for that amazing deal. But the biggest tip that I can give you out of all of these is to be patient. I remember when I was just 3 months into looking for an apartment, I was crying in the break room and I said, you know, I don't want to be 30 years old and live at home with my mom and her cats. And, you know, I was, even though I love my cats, but I was in that stage where it's like, I want to grow up. I want to be on my own. I want to be independent. I want a chance. And eventually, when I just lowered my standards down and I began to be a little bit more patient and a little bit more positive, I found this place. So it's kind of like manifesting your dreams. I'm a true believer of that. If you guys want a video on that, let me know, because it's kind of like predicting the future, but not really in a creepy way. So I knew in my head that I wanted wood floors in an apartment. I wanted no carpets. I wanted a modern paint scheme. I wanted something in this amazing town that I live in. And everything that I manifested and I wrote it down in a notebook, it came true. So, you know, and that is also with being patient and positive. So keep that in mind. If you get something out of this video, just be patient. It will come to you. Just like as of right now, I am looking for a car. So it's been about 4 months I've been looking, and I'm just being patient. I have a car in mind in my head that I want, and you know, I'm being patient with it. Eventually it's gonna come my way, and you know, it's gonna be okay. It's not the end of the world if you do not find things right away. If you do not find that amazing apartment right away, it will come to you if you're patient and positive. So with that note, you guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really wish you the best of luck when it comes to finding an apartment. I know the minute I got this place, I felt so many emotions. So I just felt achieved because I found it myself, I'm doing it myself, and it's an awesome feeling to just be on your own. So I wish every one of you luck when it comes to being at your own apartment or looking for your own apartment. And if you guys do end up finding your apartment, let me know down below how your story went. I'm always interested on how people found their apartments because there's always a story behind it. Like I said, it was a gloomy, rainy day for me, and I decided to just go and look at it because nobody wanted to, and here I am now. So definitely take these tips into consideration, and I guess I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.